So that's the topic today to talk about, is dealing with jerks, right? Anger, because anger had come up when we listened to Martin Luther King's speech at Galilee Baptist Church. He'd mentioned, right, hatred does something harmful to the hater, right? And so that had come up, and we talked about it a little bit. And I'm also responding to a couple of people. Eric Schweizgeibel and Aaron James have written books on, theories of jerks. Aaron James uses a more colorful word, but that's what he wants to talk about. So I thought it's something important because we all have to do it at some point, right? We all have to deal with jerks. So let me begin with Emperor Marcus Aurelius. He writes in his diary, "When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I will deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly." This does not sound like a great way to get up in the morning, right? You're going to get up and you're going to look at it and think, okay, now, he was an emperor, right? He was one of the most powerful Roman emperors there was. He was reluctant to become emperor. He didn't really want to do it, but it sort of like became his job and the position he had to be. And so in his journal, he writes, this is what he's going to tell himself. These are the people I will meet today. I know what I am looking at. Now, the thing about these jerks, right, you get there, is they're not the most vicious people in the world. They are not the Hitlers out there, right, that are destroying tons of people. They aren't the ones that are doing the most damage. That jerk doesn't seem to be like the right description for those kinds of people. They're smaller, right, in the way that they cause damage, but they get you much more angry a lot of times because they're closer in different ways. So here's the account that is given, that I've got here from Aaron James and Schweizgeibel. Jerks are people who take special advantages out of a feeling of entitlement. They are immunized, right, against the claims of others. Right? They're the ones who come into your workspace and say, I need this from you now, right, get it done, and then won't reciprocate, right, when it's your turn or when you need something from them. Hey, come on. Won't reciprocate when you need something from them, right? They're focused in that particular way. Because they take special advantages, right, out of a feeling of entitlement, because they're immunized to those claims, they don't appreciate other people's perspectives, right? When they come in and say, drop what you're doing and do what I want you to do, they don't realize how inconvenient that is for you. It just doesn't occur to them. How it might feel for you just to have somebody wander in and do that to you, right, and demand that from you. They fail to appreciate other people's perspectives. Jerks see all the other people as tools or fools. That's the claim, right? They're all people that are useful, right? They're going to be nice. So this is where jerks are kind of the worst, right? The people that are more powerful to them, the people they need something from, they're always really nice to them. But they're only nice to them, right, because they're useful, right? Those people are tools. They're somebody they're going to be able to get somewhere. The other people are often regarded as fools, right? It's like, I don't have to listen to them. They're all sort of idiots, right? They're morons. Their perspective is not important, right, to be able to take seriously. So this is what a jerk is like, right? There's somebody who doesn't see other people as moral or epistemic peers. That is to say, as somebody who's equal morally, right? And their time is just as important, their interests are just as important, and so on. Or epistemically equal, that is knowledge, right? That they don't, what they know or what they think or what they believe, that's not worth taking seriously, right? They're not equals, they're not peers. This is the way the jerk sees the world, right? They look out there and see everybody else in this way. Now, there are lots of different kinds of jerks, and it can be kind of fun to go through and think about the different kinds, the way that people might be arrogant and preening. I teach philosophy, so I'm in the academic realm. There are lots of academic jerks, right, who cite their own work constantly, right? This is what's really important. And if you don't reference their work, they're not going to talk about you. So there's one kind of jerk that you see. Since we're here at Being Human Church, right, there are also religious jerks, right? We know the kind, that they have a certain perspective, right? They have no moral or epistemic peers, right? They're going to tell you what is moral. They know the answer. They speak with God's tongue, not their own. Which means they also don't have epistemic peers, right? You're not equal in knowledge and claims, right? They treat you as though you're inferior, right, on that way. They're just going to tell you how it is. You don't get to make any claim on them. They're going to come bring you the truth. They don't imagine for a second that you're going to bring it to them. Now, I would want to make clear, there are religious jerks. There are non-religious jerks too, right? You can do the same thing from a different perspective. Okay, so jerks in this way are the opposite of sweethearts. right? Somebody who is a sweetheart goes around and sees every individual person as crucial and important, right, with something to add, right? They can see the value in everyone, their opinions, right? Even though they're different or somehow strange, right, to them, like they can see what's important and valuable about them. Their interests and goals are worthy of attention and respect. They're the sweethearts are the ones that will sit there, listen to somebody tell the same story for the fourth time, right? Because they really want to, why is this important to you? This is the opposite of the jerk, right? It's the other side. So jerks are always thinking, I am important and I'm surrounded by idiots. Usually, they're thinking, do you know who I am, right? That's the claim that they always make. Do you know who I am? Being a jerk hurts that jerk, right? That is to say, they fail to do one of the most important things, and that is know themselves from another perspective, right? Because they rule out everybody else, they're all tools and fools, they never engage with other people in a way that can show them what they look like from the outside, or what they might look like to somebody from a different position. Because they fail to engage with these other perspectives, they live only one life in a sense. That is, they can't look and say, well, what would it have been like if I had been born differently? And then you engage them, right? Oh, wow, their position is different, their interests are different. What if I'd made some different choices? I might be more like this other person that I know, right? But to do that, you have to take all of these other people seriously, right? You have to engage with them. So jerks cut themselves off. They don't know themselves fundamentally, right? The Oracle at Delphi tells you to know yourself, and this is something jerks don't do. And this is partially why jerks make you angry, right? Because they make you feel like you don't exist, right? When you engage with them, they make you feel like you're not even there, right, in some fundamental way. This might be a connection. We talked last week about suicide and depression and some of these things, and I can see a connection between being surrounded by jerks and those kinds of feelings, right? That is, you get treated as though you don't exist, as though your needs don't matter, as though your perspective doesn't make any difference. And in a sense, if you're often treated that way, you can start to internalize it, right? And start to say, oh yeah, that's right. That's the way that I exist, right? You start to see yourself through their eyes. So seeing yourself through the jerk's eyes is dangerous in a way, right? It undermines your own sense of your value, right? Your own sense of your importance. So people that are too subservient, right, in that way, undermine themselves. And anger, the way they make us angry, can help protect you, right? Because think about what the anger does. It pushes you to resist the jerk. Right? If they want to come in and say, I'm going to take over your time and tell you what to do now, you get angry and you push that away. Right? You say, I'm not going to deal with it. The anger gives you that kind of energy to respond to what they're doing. Or you cut them off, right? That is, you don't listen to them. You don't take their perspective. You ignore the things that they say, right? And then you get frustrated with them, and that's a way of cutting them off, right? Of distancing yourself from them. You can manage them by, of course, not feeding their sense of importance and perspective, right? Don't get too agitated. Mostly ignore them. Try and minimize it. Try and engage with them as little as possible. So your anger can help. It helps protect you, right? Because it helps cut you off from the kind of insult that their perspective is. If you take their point of view, if you see the world from their point of view, then you see yourself, right, as just a tool or a fool or something not to be there, right, something to just be run over in that process. So you get angry, and you cut yourself off from their perspective. So anger is a tool. Might even be an important tool. Might even be necessary. But anger makes you into a jerk, right? If you get angry regularly, and you stay angry regularly. You put up those walls of saying, I am not going to take that other perspective. I am not going to accept that other perspective. You slowly become that person who is the jerk. the one who's immunized to other people's claims, who is entitled to their time, right, and all this, because you shut it down every single time. So anger can quickly make you into a jerk. And this is really, I think, some of the danger that jerks pose when they're around in the work environment or socially, right, or right in this area, is that the more you deal with them, the more you become like them, right? You immunize yourself from their claims by shutting them down, and you're practicing that, right? You're becoming more like that. You get to be more that way. The challenge in dealing with jerks is how to deal with them without becoming one, right? How to manage them without becoming just like them. So Marcus Aurelius, when he gets up, right, he says, when you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I will deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. And he goes on, they are like this because they can't tell good from evil. But I have seen the beauty of good and the ugliness of evil, and have recognized that the wrongdoer has a nature related to my own, not of the same blood and birth, but of the same mind and possessing a share of the divine. And so none of them can hurt me. No one can implicate me in ugliness, nor can I feel angry at my relative or hate him. We were born to work together, like feet, hands, and eyes, like the two rows of teeth, upper and lower. To obstruct each other is unnatural. To feel anger at someone, to turn your back on him, these are unnatural. So what's he doing here, right? He comes back and he says, these people are going to be meddling and ungrateful and arrogant and so on. Why? Because they can't tell good from evil. Or another way to put it, because they think what they're doing is good, right? They believe they're doing something that is good. You don't have to accept that they're right, but it makes them a lot easier to deal with when you notice that they're just mistaken, right? They're just mistaken. They're not evil in the sense that they want to go out there and do unnecessary harm. They're mistaken about what is good. They think it's good to be a jerk, right? To go and say, you need this. Who are they hurting? Fundamentally, themselves. They're cutting themselves off from what it's like to be a human being, right? They get one life and that's all they can see. They can't see all these other people they're with. They can't engage with them. They think what they're doing is good, and they're wrong about that. And if you can keep that in mind, you can recognize, right, that they are mistaken. They become more of an object of pity, right? They're like somebody who's ill, right, when you see them. They're like, oh, that hurts for you to be like that. It doesn't hurt me for you to be like that, right? It hurts you for you to be like that. Now, you may still have to deal with them in certain ways, right? Maybe not get too engaged. Maybe it's not somebody you can help. You're not necessarily one to help them see their mistake. Like, there are all those sorts of possibilities. But if you recognize that they're mistaken about what's good and that they're a victim of their own jerkiness, that certainly helps you not become one yourself, right? You don't need to be angry with them. You might need to protect yourself, get away from them. That's certainly something that might happen. You might need to engage with them in small doses. That's certainly something that might happen. But not because they're evil. It's because they're mistaken. All right. And with that, I am done. So let's discuss.